Well, and you know what? Who's to say that I won't feel the same way when I'm 60?
20 years from now?
You know?
I don't know, bro.
Boom.
Vultures circling above.
Hey,
I can barely hear the song in my headphones, but it's still fucking bombs.
Stop bitching out the sound. We were doing just fine before you got here. Hey.
Well, I'm a fucking diva when it comes to sound, bro. I am, dude. I'm a musician. I'm super picky about like how things sound, bro. You can't hate on that. I cannot hate on that, bro. I know you could like, it doesn't matter to you, homie, but to me it's super important. If I can only hear out of one headphone, we got problems, papi. You know what I mean?
This is my camera?
That one. This one's mine. The one to your.
See me? How do I look in this camera?
You look okay.
I look all right.
You look good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You look like you're fucking on it, dude.
I look like a
like your dick just grew like 3 more inches.
I wish.
That's how you look right now.
Thanks, man.
That's how you're carrying yourself right now.
Appreciate
Like you
it.
gained an extra inch.
Life is good.
Let's just fucking go for
Let's
it.
just fucking go. No, life is really good. Life is really good. We just did a podcast on just pivoting and new chapters in life, and just we're doing changing up we're actually having a marketing strategy for the podcast and for the business. So with a black owned marketing agency.
Yeah. What are they called?
I'm not gonna put her out there yet. We didn't solidify the deal yet.
Well, then let's fucking not talking about it.
No, we could talk about the
I mean, like who they were, but no, that sounds super
we're
dope.
locking up the deal tomorrow, and we're just changing. You're supposed to put that on the other side, because now that
on this side, on that side.
Now the cord is going to be in the shop.
Let me change it, bro. So like,
come on. There you go. So what's up? Okay, so we I don't think we did the podcast of where Benny went. But
no, we did do the
podcast.
We did that
podcast.
Podcast, yeah.
Okay, so we did do a podcast, Where'd Benny Go? But I wanted to have Benny on because let me stop really quick. Shout out to all the black-owned clothing designers out there. We got Crowned with Excellence. His podcast will drop on Friday. And Snoop Proof Bags. He's not black, but he's brown. And so I'm rocking black and brown fucking apparel.
And a black and brown shirt.
And a black and brown shirt. This is the chocolate. This is fall colors. I'm like willing fall into existence. I wore a hoodie yesterday.
It's gonna be hot, fucking hot this next week. Though.
Yeah, I'm trying to will it into existence, man. But anyway, shout out to them and black and brown support black and brown apparel companies. But Benny and I, so we were having creative difficulties on the podcast. Kind of things changed after quarantine. And Benny's a musician at heart. And the YouTube channel is not a podcast YouTube channel. There's a specific YouTube channel that we look at that we like. I love what they do. Theirs is pretty much dedicated to podcasts, but Big Mood TV is dedicated to creating things. So we have Carly, doing her 6-week series coming out.
When's that dropping?
That drops. We're recording it October 5th. That week of October 5th.
So sometime like late November.
It'll drop November for 6 weeks. It'll be our guest episode each week, and it'll drop on the YouTube channel. So like it's about creating. We have that woman Christina who did the Juggle Left. She's creating doing
Christina or X-Tina?
X-Tina is her nickname, her cool name. but she's dropping a 6-week series on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But also, if you haven't noticed, if you've been to the YouTube channel, we have a Barrio Corner playlist.
Gang.
So tell people what the fuck Barrio Corner is.
So Barrio Corner is essentially a show, right? A show that got created out of, it's like a brainchild of Big Mood. So what we're really doing is like we're bringing in artists. Right now we're focusing on local artists because like there's no touring, there's no shows being played, there's not any of that. So we're coming in, filming like a 3 to 4 song performance and stuff like that. And then we sit down and talk with these bands, these artists, whoever. We're like not discriminating. We've had like some pretty diverse individuals come in musically.
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. Like, we have Los Muertos dropping this week. I don't know. This episode drops this week too, right?
Thursday. Yeah, this is going to drop Wednesday.
All right, cool. So this will be super relevant. So by the time this drops, the next day on Thursday, Los Muertos, which is like a rockabilly, punk, blues, just a mix of like a lot of really cool shit. They'll be dropping. So, we film their performances here right? And it's fucking, bro, Room and Board like does such an incredible job, like with everything that they do.
They've really made the YouTube channel, made the podcast. Shout out to Room and Board.
Yeah, dude, it's been fucking incredible. And then we just sit down, shoot the shit, and get to know them. Like, I ask them, like, their origin story. How did you get started? Like, how did you guys, if it's a band, like, how did you guys come together? Because that's always really interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then questions of, because I'm a music dork, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just a fucking music dork. So I'd love to, like, get to know, like, ask a question like, yo, what was the first song or album that, like, when you heard that shit, you were like, oh, damn,
this is what I want.
This is what I wanted to, like, change the course of everything. Because I remember, like, I have, like, 2 or 3 of those that changed the entire course of everything. Like, from then on, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And for an artist and a musician, like that's a very pivotal moment. Because to me, it was like Europa by Santana. And then when I heard Since I've Been Loving You by Led Zeppelin, like that was it, bro. It was like nothing was ever the same after that. And then music just became like the only thing I could ever give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Right. So tapping into that, and then like the human element of the artist too, because as an artist myself, like, we're not as confident as you think.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I think the most like boisterous sort of artists, like as what you think you can see, like as a Lady Gaga to, Elton John, like all of us, even like Ozzy Osbourne to this day will ask people if there's people in the crowd outside.
Yeah.
You know, so I love extracting that human element
of
an artist. Like, yo, like what's this shit really like? Like writing a new album.
Yeah.
Like you just got done putting one out. Like, what's that like to start from scratch, bro? Like that whole process, like that just blows my mind. It's like you just got done pouring all of yourself into something and now you got to do it again.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, because a lot of people will see an artist and be like, yo, they're just not the same, dude. Like, people like to hang on to the first 2 albums and then, like, hate when people develop a different sound, you know? So, like, I want to sort of also, like, feature and normalize, like, growth. Like, bro, if you're going to be the same thing, be a one-trick pony, like, that can get pretty old, right? Like, leave that for the sort of, like, subcultures that want to hang on and just stay in that fucking bubble.
Yeah.
Because... honestly, dude, we're in 2020 now.
Yeah.
And we have access to so much good shit, dude.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know? And I've always hated that sentiment of like, oh, dude, the 70s is when they made real music.
No,
like,
music is dope. Yeah. Music is dope right now.
It's dope, bro. We have access. Every talented individual, dude,
has
every genre, has
the ability to
feature, and we get to listen to that.
And musicians are getting better, younger, and it's a great time for music.
Yeah,
it's a great time.
It's a fucking fantastic. Right now is
people
the best time
who hate on that is like,
bro,
you're whack. You just don't know. Like people talk. I'm a hip hop fan. That's my lane. And people will say like, oh, like they don't say that anymore. I think there was like a real window where people say like, hip hop is dead. Nas had a whole album that was like hip hop is dead. But there's so much dope music. I listen to so much dope rap that. And every week it's dope music. It's not like oh, it's like there's lulls and months. There's so many dope ass rappers coming out with music consistently.
I know, dude. I've been hitting the classics hard, bro.
The classic hip hop or classic
hip hop.
Yeah,
like I was like I think I listened to like Illmatic fucking 4 or 5 times last week, like Pharoah Monch and stuff. And like I fucking love Pharoah Monch though.
Yeah,
dude.
Pharoah Monch is shit. He's from Queens.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah.
Is there some part of you where you're like, yeah, I'm proud of that shit? Like,
I'm
like, how much do you hang on? How much do you New York guys hang on to that shit?
No, I'm so proud of the. Well, no. You laugh. No.
I know, but
I'll explain. So for me, hip hop is such a sense of pride to me because it's authentically black music, and it's being from New York. It's my native music. It's like how in Africa they have a native, like these are their natives. But like, so Illmatic is a New York City, Queens native music. It's my birthright to me. Yeah. So I look at hip hop like that. I don't look at it as like, I don't look at it as just like, oh, it's like a rock, like the Beatles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at it like it's an essence. And like the way that I dress, the way that I speak, for me as a Black American and a Black New Yorker, hip hop is a part of everything that I do. So it's more than just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like it's more than just like I like this punk band. It's like, no, this is like my birthright. This is my native sound.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's kind of it's hater a little bit because it's like you're fucking lucky, bro. Like you just got lucky.
Well, we
out of
Black
chance
people?
You got born and you're from New York like that.
No, well,
and you get to claim it, dude. That's
no,
it.
whatever. You're a hater. You're a hater.
Yeah, I am. I'm hating on it because like California has like I don't know,
but you have Chicano culture in San Diego.
We have Chicano culture, yeah, but that's all borrowed from Black culture.
Yeah,
which, bro, let's recognize that for a second.
Yeah,
because like. I mean, I was doing a lot of thinking about that because soul, what we call oldies, right?
Yeah.
Here in Chicano culture, that's all soul.
Yeah.
Right? That's all Black soul. So, like even in Chicano culture, I mean, really the only thing we might have is like banda music. And
yeah.
But that's strictly Mexican.
Yeah.
And then, obviously we listen to that stuff here, which I thought that shit was so corny back like when I was younger.
Isn't it gangster music on low key?
It evolved into like whatever gangster rap equivalent.
Yeah,
to that is like
that's the interesting part. When I hear that, it's like fucking cartel songs.
Yeah, they're cartel songs. So it's like
that's
cartel
the cool
banda, which they call them corridos, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like the equivalency of gangster rap.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Like, and it doesn't sound like it would be, but they're like gangster stories.
They're fucking crazy stories.
Yeah,
dude. Though I mean, just like gangster rap. It goes anything from like fucking shooting up a neighborhood to selling drugs, all that shit. It's the same spectrum that gets covered in those songs. But everything that we do bump, even to the funk.
It's Black music.
The funk, it's all Black music from Parliament.
That's what there should be so much pride in Blackness. And I only have developed, my 20s has been developing like this like immense pride in Blackness. But it's the vast influence on the world coming from such a place of destruction and like making it, and that's why Black people feel like we're chosen people. Like that's why that's why we correlate ourselves to being the original man and being like an ascended kind of people who are proud to be Black, is because we have been absolutely tried to have been decimated and almost extinct, and we still rise, and not only rise, but fucking influence the world in a massive way through pain, which is like, it's almost an anointed experience.
Well, it's like a lot of the foundation of music can be traced back to like soul, blues.
Exactly.
Blues, specifically.
Exactly.
Without blues, there'd be no rock and roll.
Exactly.
Rock and roll, there'd be, I mean, you can sort of, the domino effect of everything too. And I mean, just sort of like the foundation of blues and then the prominence of rising into other bands covering these songs. Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Beatles, like all what you would think is like the foundation of rock and roll. The foundation of rock and roll goes back to Mississippi Fred McDowell, Lightning Hopkins, Fats Domino, Howlin' Wolf, like all of these guys,
all during Jim Crow, all during Reconstruction in Jim Crow. These people are making this music where they're not even allowed to be, they're not even looked at as full human beings, but still creating this fucking masterpiece.
And so like, when you listen to these old songs and stuff, these "Oh baby baby" and "I'll do to you what you did to me" and stuff like that, those are like sort of subliminal messages of slavery time, of the master, some of them are relationships, but a lot of them, if you really look at them, the subliminal meaning to them are sort of it's like a method of coping within the slavery aspect of it, because I mean these guys. Think about it at this time too. They weren't making money.
Yeah, exactly. All the whole entire story is, that's why people say it's like anointed, because it's like the whole entire story is people not making money, people coming from the absolute poverty that we in contemporary America can't really even imagine, with no shoes and coming, like my grandmother, like if you look at my ancestry, you can see my origins directly to South Carolina. And exactly where we were slaves in South Carolina. And the stories of my grandmother, her grandmother was a slave in South Carolina. And so knowing the history in in the Black American story here, and then the beauty to come out of it, that's what makes it like anointed. It's like, oh fuck, we are out of.
Well, because when you did that What is Blackness project, right? Like Jericho said something so profound.
We can play that at the end of that. Can we loop that at the end? The Jericho, What is Blackness, at the end of the podcast?
Because I'm sure I'm going to butcher it. I don't remember.
No. We'll play it at the end.
We'll play it. But what he said was super profound, right? And I think that just sort of translates into people of color anyways, like what he ended up saying. But you know, these musicians and stuff like that, like Robert Johnson, like that sort of era, the Delta Blues, who weren't making money, who were making music, like just making music.
Yeah.
Kind of coping of this emotion of everything that they've kind of gone through. Because I mean, like, I think we have like such a small scope of what that really looked like.
Yeah.
But I think like, I don't think we can really fathom of how heavy that sort of was. Trauma was. Do you just imagine the trauma?
No, it's,
you know, like
you can't imagine. And that's why for me, like, there's so many parts of being a Black person that are profoundly, I feel so profoundly responsible.
Yeah.
To like, to participate, to be loud, not loud, not loud in the literal sense, but loud about my Blackness, loud about Black issues, loud about brown, not only Black issues, but Black and brown issues, loud about who I am as a Black person. I feel like to soak in it, I feel a responsibility because people were beaten and hung and died and dragged behind cars and burnt and like, all of this fucking disgusting trauma, this evil that has happened, and we have still come out of this other side where I'm able to talk on this microphone and say "Sling Dick Monday" like last week, and be free and be whoever I want to be. Coming out of all of that, I feel a profound responsibility, to do that. But let's move on. Tell people, tell people about the because Barrio Corner, it does have there is a featured playlist on the YouTube, on the Big Mood TV channel, but you have Barrio Corner as a YouTube channel. Talk about the vision as the Barrio Corner YouTube channel.
The vision of the Barrio Corner YouTube channel, we're still building it, right? We're still sort of like figuring out all the pieces. So, I mean, essentially, like, instead of just putting, well, we have awesome interviews and awesome performances. So you can watch the entirety of our episodes, and we also like break up all the performances for the bands. So I think when I came back, I think when we did the Where Did Benny Go episode, right? I kind of said like I wanted to build something that would feature San Diego music scene as for what it is. We have a lot of talent here and everything too. So you can access like the entirety of the episodes, or you can access just performances to see these bands that we have, rappers, singers, whoever it is that we're bringing on, like just to see them, just to feature what we have like here in San Diego. I mean, it's awesome. I'm like super stoked to be a part of it. And like, excuse me, my goal really, it'd be really awesome to see Barrio Corner as like a San Diego music scene institution. Like that'd be really cool, But as far as building out just the Barrio Corner YouTube channel, like what you can see are, just the performances alone, the entirety of the episodes, clips of what it's like inside the mind of an artist and everything.
You gotta do best of. You gotta do best of clips.
Yeah, dude. We'll do a bunch of that stuff. It's all like learning all this shit. Like, we're like combining two styles of shows, like a tiny desk kind of thing, and then like just a regular podcast style. So it's like, as we're building this thing, it's sort of like, well, fuck, we can do whatever we want with it. And at the same time, it's like, what do we do with it?
It's
but
it's the fucking internet. And when, for me, like the huge thing, what I'm so fortunate to do is like follow my dreams. Just like whatever I want to do, fucking, okay, do it. Like create it.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to be able to do that. Like it's dope to see you have your own, like you and Matt and Jai get together and like have your own conception and your own, and like watch it go through its phases, because where it is today may not be where it is 6 months from now in its creation. But I want you to go through your own creative process, which you and I have gone through a creative process with HOE and Hearts and Minds Collective, and gone through that whole process. And look where we ended up now. This is not what it looked like. I
don't think this would have even been something we imagined.
Exactly.
It really wasn't even.
Yeah. So it's going to be dope to watch you go through that whole entire process with your own platform and your own project, and it's your baby. Yeah. It's your baby, and I wanted you to have that. Yeah. Like,
no, I mean, I'm like super glad to have it, and I also do want to say, like, I couldn't do all of this without Matt and Jai. Matt and Jai have also played like a big role into like the presentation of this entire project too.
They have really changed the game of our whole entire.
I don't even want to try to pretend like it's all been me.
Yeah,
it's been a collaborative effort. I think, and really like without Matt and Jai, to sort of present Barrio Corner the way it is, like I wouldn't have been able to do this without them.
Yeah,
we do get. Sit together and do kind of what we'll brainstorm, come up with ideas. Like, how do we do this? How do we do that? And stuff like that too. And they've come up with great ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful for Matt and Jai, because they're a part of this show too, man.
Yeah, man.
I really don't even want to pretend like I do this on my own.
Room and Board is really like, let's just take a minute to suck their dick, because they're super quiet about it.
I'll do it on camera, Matt, if you want to come in, bro.
Yeah, if you want to fucking sloppy gluck 9,000.
Bro, I could suck up the Titanic from the bottom of the ocean, homie. I'd blow your mind.
No, but like, they have really changed the whole course of our YouTube channel, our podcast. We get compliments on our production all the time, 100%. and I'm proud to say, like, I listened to the podcast in San Diego. I watched the other podcast in San Diego. We're doing something different. Hey, and you know that we've listened. We know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And I think we have created, with the full support of Room and Board, have created something very cool here.
Yeah, man, it's dope. But in the end, like, Barrio Corner, dude, I'm like super stoked to be working on it, because like I mentioned before, like, there's no shows, there's no touring, there's no live music has taken a big hit, and at the same time, I feel super blessed to even have the opportunity to sort of do it. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we're in here recording a band. And I'm sitting in the control booth, and I'm like, yo, what is my life right now, son?
Yeah.
Isn't
it cool?
I'm like, yo, I get to I'm like, there's no live music, and here I am watching like a set being performed. Like, bro, I mean, like I said in the beginning, like, music is probably just the greatest part of my life, dude. And to finally find something in an avenue where I feel very comfortable in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel comfortable in this space, like in the music space, talking about music, talking to musicians and stuff like that. And so I think, like, being able to extract some of that and being a part of it too is something very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like, which is also like one of the most important parts, I think, to like when you're doing something, like the fulfilling aspect of it.
Oh, yeah. When you're, it feels, I hate to go back to this. I don't know why I'm so sentimental when it comes to this today, but when you're doing something fulfilling or purposeful, it feels almost divine. Mm-hmm. It really does. It feels like you're living out a promise, and it's like when you get to like walk in your thing, because and I think people take that for granted, because I know a lot of people, so many people in my life, the average person is walking somebody else's life and like. Yeah. Checking somebody else's boxes, helping somebody else live their dreams, and to be able to fully create your own thing, and walk in your own thing, in ownership and in full creative control of your own thing. That is a very liberating feeling.
It is, man, because, dude, Jesse and I were talking about this over the weekend. We went to go see the fights.
Where'd you watch them?
Patrick's.
So good. Such good fights.
They were great. They were great. They were fantastic fucking fights. But we were having this conversation up in the car. It's like, yo, like, why this whole... Blah.
Okay. I do it all the time.
Well, I was just... there were so many like things I wanted to say in that one sentence, so I had a stroke. But we were talking about, it's like, why do we accept this equation, right? Graduate high school, go to college, get a job, work till you're 65, retire, and then enjoy the last, 5 years that you're able to enjoy, and then die. So, like, why are we so it's almost like engraved in our DNA at this point.
Yeah.
And so breaking that cycle
that's why that's how the American machine works. Yeah. It's designed that way to function on the backs of the worker bees while X amount of people make hella money. That's just the system is designed that way. That's but I think our generation is the millennials are the first influencer generation, first content creator generation. We are.
Yeah, no, it's just it's hard saying that I'm a content creator. So I was like,
well, it's. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. I'm just punk rock, dude.
Yeah.
Punk rock. I don't want
but that's what we're doing. This is content, and we are creating it right now. By speaking, we are creating that. And I don't like to say branding. I don't like to say any of those things because I'm just a dude doing what I want to do. Yeah. It's like the idea of that I'm a brand is kind of annoying,
100%. But going back to what we were talking about is kind of the thing is like, why can't we just try to find a way where we can actually enjoy our lives.
Yeah.
And not like just enjoy our lives now and also try to do our own thing.
Yeah.
Because bro, like I can't fathom working for 30 more years. Yeah. Working for 30 more years and then enjoying what? Maybe 5-6 years after that of being able to like want to do what I want to do. That sounds terrible to me, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds it's like spirit killing to me.
It is. I just talked about that on the monologue that came out yesterday. It's a bankruptcy. It's more on spiritual bankruptcy, sucking, it's soul sucking. It's soul sucking to grind. But we are that culture is changing. That culture is changing. I know a lot of people who are really chasing their dreams. I'm fortunate because I got to see a family of people doing that. Mm-hmm. My entire family has done that and has done work that's fulfilling. So for me to be able to do this in this medium, because they're doing it in different mediums, but for me to be able to do it in this medium, I feel like this is like I was entitled to this. But a lot of people, I think culturally are moving away from this. People are saying, I'm going to be a gamer. I'm going to stream, and I'm going to, that's a lane I'm going to be in. And a lot of people are saying, I'm going to podcast, and that's a lane I'm going to be in. And people are saying, I'm going to coach, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and that's the lane I'm going to be in. And it becomes saturated, and that sucks. But that's competition. Competition is good for the market. So it's all good. As lame as it sounds, like, what are you going to stream on Twitch? Like, but that's creating that's a market that we have now created. Podcasting is a market that we have now created. That over the last 10 years, which is with 30 years of generation, right? 30 years of generation?
Is it? No.
Or 10 years.
It's like 10 years.
Oh, but
20 years? I get what you're saying.
But in the last 10 years, this has become a market. So like it's a cool thing, man. It's a cool thing that we get to do and we get to be a part of. As much as people joke like, like even I joke, like you have a podcast or you have I joke about it, because who the fuck do you think you are, right? Kevin, you're not that fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I want to say people's podcast specifically. It's
just
so
go
bad.
for it, dude.
Nope.
Just do it.
Nope.
Just do it.
No.
We'll bleep it out.
No, we're not gonna bleep it out. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. But everybody thinks they're fucking interesting, myself included. You know what I mean? But it's a market that we've created, and it's awesome that we're in this space to just create stuff.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I'm just doing my thing. Like, I don't.
Me too.
Am I interesting? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. I have no idea.
I know I'm fucking interesting. I know I am, actually. Yeah, I know I am. My life is very fucking weird. I have a weird ass life.
It's 100% weird.
I have a weird ass life, and I have a weird ass story. But I don't think it's special enough. What I pride myself on is that I'm a human and just experiencing human shit. Yeah. And other people are experiencing the same shit, despite my weird situation, despite being like a low bottom junkie. Yeah, but
that's cool too.
That's cool too.
Because now you get to say you're a fucking low bottom junkie who's come out from some
exactly
some fucking white dude posing with his goddamn Dodge Charger and shit. And
you know what I mean? I think I am interesting, but I'm not banking on that I'm interesting. I'm banking on that I'm sharing a human experience out loud. Yeah. And connecting with people on a large scale, connecting with people from Canada. Shout out to our Canadian listeners. Shout out to our Tennessee listeners. We have Tennessee right now. Shout out to Arizona really listening. Shout out to fucking Oregon really listening. Shout out to all the listeners in New York.
You should probably pour in more into Oregon.
That's what we're doing. I'm pouring it. We're really, funneling content to those places because they're really supporting us.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been able to do that before, and it's cool to be able to do that.
No, this whole project, I think the way this whole thing is sort of unfolded has been really cool, bro.
Yeah, man.
And then Barrio Corner has been, I don't know, bro. It's almost been.
It's a baby.
It's my baby.
It's a baby,
dude. It's my baby, and. Like doing your own thing is scary. I'm just glad I have the support that I have around me. Fucking room and board, all this other shit like that too. But we got some man.
Who's coming up? Talk about. We're gonna wrap up, but let's talk about what's coming up.
So coming up this week, we're gonna have Los Muertos. Like I said, they're like really cool rockabilly rock, like just not classic rock, just like rockabilly rock, punk rock, like bluesy, got some jazz influence in it and stuff like that too. We got this, I haven't solidified the actual artist yet, so I don't want to mention it just in case it doesn't come out and stuff like that. But we got somebody really cool, some local San Diego musicians, really cool. And we're working on getting some other people on. We're working on big artists and stuff here pretty soon too.
Talk about some of the jam sessions you've been doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's been a lot of fun.
That's come out of Barrio Corner.
That's come out of Barrio Corner.
Will those go on the YouTube channel eventually?
We're working that out right now because so we had Kajay, whose album just dropped a couple weeks ago. Her album Kenya, which is a fantastic album. So she was on Barrio Corner. I played guitar for her performance, right? And Kajay and I had met at another session that we got invited to. DJ Artistic, Art Mitchell. He has a studio up above the Tribal Warehouse down here in just right down the street in downtown. And there was a group of musicians that got invited to that session, and her and I met, and we clicked really well. And this drummer, Colin Dunecat, who's also like a producer and a DJ, was there as well. And so Kajay and I got connected in that way, in that session there. And then I was like, hey man, I think you're really interesting. You have like a cool sound. You're a fantastically talented vocalist. And so I asked her to come on the show. And we were rehearsing before she came on the show, like a week or so prior. And we were working on ideas already at that session that we were a part of and stuff that I brought to the table, because I've had stuff in my pocket for years. I've just never found the avenue to sort of pour into. And so while we were rehearsing for her performance here on Barrio Corner, there was other ideas that I brought up to her, right? And we just vibed so well, and she fit into the ideas that I had so well. So after we filmed the Barrio Corner episode with her, like we just sort of talked some more, and we were both like, yo, let's try to unfold these ideas. Let's see what we got. Like, if you think it fits really well with what you got going on and everything, I think like the way your brain works, the way our brains work, it's like a very like, I don't know if this is like too big of a comparison, but very Missy Elliott, Timbaland. Sort of. Everybody has influences. That's okay. Yeah. But like just the way the relationship worked out was very Missy Elliott, Timbaland, sort of like partnership, like brain childish sort of thing, And so we end up just coming into the studio here, and I just dumped ideas, and the drummer Colin Dunecat, and then a friend of mine who I've known for over 20 years. His name is Moses, came in on bass, and I asked him to come in. And we recorded this session, just an idea session, and it ended up just fitting together so well. And so we have like a little core of songs that we're still in between, like how we want to do this. If she wants to sort of have it for her, like a new EP album sort of project, or the way Carlos Santana create songs, has other artists to come onto them and then do it that way. So we're in between like working that idea out, but I don't know, I've sort of taken a producer role into this thing, which is scary as fuck, dude. Yeah. These are like all the songs that we have, like, have become dumped out of my brain. And then a lot of it too is collaborative. I'm not taking full ownership of that. That would just be ridiculous because I have two other amazing musicians here who tie it all together.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, we're working on something really fucking cool. It's just in the baby phases of it. You know, she came over last week and we spent a couple hours like writing lyrics and mapping out the way the song. So she's like doing lyrics and I'm doing the music portion of it. You know, we were sitting there for a couple hours and mapping all this shit and stuff too. And so, you know, we're gonna slowly get into the process of unfolding all of this stuff. There's one song that we have that the way it came out, like the way her brain was thinking was very like sort of darkness into light pathway of the way the song worked out. So she has a series on her Instagram called like Stories of Her on her IGTV, and so kind of what we had in mind was sort of like doing like a 5-part series of, I think like in her, well, what we sort of came up with was sort of like the storyline of like what would be like from addiction to recovery in a sense, because that's sort of what the song unfolded with. And in having that one song that we're working on is sort of the featured song in the background and like it being worked on and sort of just unfolding. I don't know if that vision makes sense at all.
That makes sense.
You know, like in 8 Mile when he's just like, when Eminem's like scribbling words on a fucking thing.
I think it's interesting for people to hear a little bit behind the creative process.
Yeah.
Of like I'm watching you right now unpack it. And I think that's kind of the power and the value of what Barrio Corner and what the project you're working on has is showing people the process. And people are going to watch episode 1 with Jericho and they're going to watch episode 20 with whoever, and they're going to watch the progression.
It's been really cool, bro.
And you're the way you're talking through it is the same way people are going to be watching you work through it.
Yeah, and that's bro, I mean, like that's what it's been. In the end, like I'm proud of everything, every episode, every whatever. I'm proud to like be a part of it. I'm proud to have been put it out there. I just think like with the way you said, when something feels so fulfilling, it's almost like a divine blessing.
Yeah, it's tight.
And that's sort of like what's been now. And it's mind blowing to me because even just a year ago,
I was just thinking that like think of Benny 10 years ago playing worship in a little church, right? And then think, Skip, and then Benny and his drug addiction, and then Skip, Benny getting, in his early recovery, starting a podcast with his homeboy he met in a fucking meeting talking shit. And then now to Benny's in his own phase of his own fucking project. And that's why I tell people, don't be married to they'll be married to your to a plan. No. They'll be married to a plan. I started out as a little personal trainer. I wanted a full schedule of workout clients. I wanted to help people get fit. And if I was married to that, that's all I would be all I would be doing. And now look at where I am now. It's like, you don't be have a dream. Don't be married to the outcome of that dream, because you never know. And I'm watching you, unfold into this whole new thing.
And the other cool thing is just being able, just say yes to a thing. Just say yes to a thing.
Do it. Do it.
Because I still don't even really regard myself as like a great guitarist, even though people around me are say differently. That's just imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's just imposter syndrome. We all
feel it too.
We all fucking feel it, especially within our creative and artistic minds. But just saying yes. Just all right, sure, I'll fucking give it a try. A year ago, I wouldn't have sat down with Kajay and played guitar for her performance. Yeah. A year ago, I wouldn't. It's just dude, just say yes, bro. And I know that sounds super corny, super
no.
But if you just bro, it's just fucking say yes and check something out, dude. And because of that sort of same attitude, like you said, don't be married to the fucking idea of whatever you think is going to work out. Because I've just said yes more, I have cool shit going on.
Yeah.
And I think I said it for a while, my life isn't even that extraordinary. I'm just a regular dude. It's fucking kind of starting to be dope as fuck instead of just a regular life.
Yeah.
And that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Scary, but that's fucking cool. dude, like, I feel like I'm actually moving into just being a fucking regular dude watching TV with his wife till fucking it's time to go to sleep to like, yo, I got like, there's fucking exciting shit
be in the studio
on.
tomorrow, man.
Yeah, like cool with like a legitimate goal.
Yeah,
and now like, now the weird part is, I've had like this pen name and an artist name, an artistic name, whatever, right? In the back of my mind for like a year or two. And I could talk to Jericho about it, talk to a few other homies about it as like Story, that being my like artist name and stuff. So like now it's weird. It's like, oh, do I fucking just say fuck it and go for it?
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
And the way that name came about, remember we were back in that other studio a long time ago, and I recorded like 2 hours worth of guitar for Jericho and K-Sounds. And K-Sounds made a whole fucking beat out of my guitar and titled it Story, and I thought that was just fucking really cool. And so I was like, yo, what if I just, take that as my pen name or whatever. And then talking with Kajay, she's like, you got a fucking cool story, dude. She's like, that just would fit you very well. Mm-hmm. So now I'm in between. It's like, yo, do I just fucking dive full into that and just be Story? Like that's who he is. Like that's just so weird.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I think I am, bro.
But that's cool. Follow your little dreams.
I know, dude. Or is this just stick to Benny T? Because she did a fucking interview with 95.7, one of the hip hop stations.
Yeah, I saw
here.
that.
Yeah, and so they asked her like, yo, are you working on something? She's like, yeah, we're working on a project with like Benny Torres, a tortilla scientist. And so when we were sitting at my house doing a writing session, she's like, who are you? Right? Yeah. She's like, who do you want to be? Like, who are you? Because she told me about that little thing there at the 95.7. And I was like, bro, like, I don't even know, dude. Yeah. I was like, do I want to stay Benny T or do I want to move into this name I've had in my mind for a little bit? So, bro, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, it's cool, weird, man. But it's cool as shit, bro. I'm fucking digging everything around me right now. But yo, I know we said we were gonna wrap up and everything too, but like check out. I don't want to look at the camera, but like Barrio Corner on YouTube, right? At Barrio Corner on the Grum, and
I'm me on the ground.
Hey, I'll fuck with you. So
there's a whole wide baby, bro.
Whole wide baby on the Federal Highway. So yeah, Barrio Corner on YouTube, Barrio Corner, at Barrio Corner on Instagram, and. Yeah, man, just stay tuned. We got so much cool shit in the works right now. So much cool shit. I'm so stoked to be a part of, bro. And it's been so much fun doing this whole thing. And the musicians we have on, like the artists we have on, have all been fucking dope, dude.
Cool, man.
Like there's a different aspect of listening to an album and sitting there watching somebody perform this shit. It's like unlocking a whole different thing, bro.
Cool, man.
And it's been really cool to see that shit and feature some of that, we had Jericho, K-Sounds, it sounds familiar, production duo, Josh Franks, who's worked with a bunch of really big artists and stuff, got the scoop on the Nipsey Hussle stuff that's going on. Kajay Jones or Kajay, she just dropped a new album. That project is really cool. We got Los Muertos coming up. And then we got a few other people we haven't solidified. I learned the lesson of like, I don't want to say until something's super solid, Yeah. So we have a few other really cool people coming up here pretty soon. Some people I got to get in contact with tomorrow. Cool, some time set up with tomorrow. And bro, it's just unfolding, dude. It's taking off.
We're doing the damn thing.
We're doing the thing.
So look right here at Barrio Corner on YouTube, right there at Tortilla Scientist. Or on the Grum. And you could also find Barrio Corner on a playlist on Big Moon TV. Subscribe to Barrio Corner YouTube channel. Subscribe, rate, the Barrio Corner podcast because it comes out on podcast form too.
It does.
So if you don't watch it, it's okay.
Because like we're a YouTube based show. Yeah. So the audio version of it is up on every platform.
There you go.
iHeartRadio, Google, iTunes. Amazon Music.
October, everything's on Pandora now. Yo,
Hey, but I do want to say, bro, shout out to Grippy Socks. Ride to the airport, gotta get right for the plane. Custom smell like kush. Wife in your hand in a tish. Yes, and I got no shame. Some line to shine. With a broke, you got no game. Waking up next to the scats. Can't go home to a thing. Nah, tell themselves to the same. Really, though, who can they blame?